Hello, everyone. Today, I am your host, Emerald Tejas, and this is now the sixth episode of Femme Forward. Today, I am joined by the lovely Miss Manfra. Ooh. So, Miss Manfra, tell us a little bit more about yourself.
So, I am a 21-year veteran high school English teacher, and my journey started here in Miami, born and raised. And I'm a very proud member of YWPA now. But let's get started with some questions.
Yay, perfect. So, how was your journey coming to Young Women's Preparatory Academy? What made you want to teach at an all-girls school? How does that change? How has this school changed your perspective and teaching?
I have always felt that it's important to stay fresh and to keep moving forward. So, as I've gone through my teaching journey, I've taught all over the county. I started actually at my high school alma mater, Hialeah Miami Lakes Senior. And then from there, I moved on to Hialeah Gardens Senior. But then I moved down south, and so I was able to get a transfer down to Miami Sunset Senior. And I was there for a few years. And then I was able to transfer to Terra Environmental Research Institute. So those four schools were all boy and girl schools. And so coming here to YWPA was definitely a change. All those schools are also fairly large. So, yeah, coming to a school like this, very small, but also all girls, was a change. But I have to say that it's been exciting because even at Terra, I was in charge of a club called Girl Up. I've always been about empowering young women to see their potential and to not allow society to make them feel like, they can't do things. And I'm so glad that my impact here at YWPA has already been a very positive one. Getting my students involved in all types of competitions, writing competitions, creative writing, Fairchild with STEM. So all of those things are important. I think being a well-rounded person is extremely important, and that's what I focus on in my classes.
Wow, that's amazing, Miss Franfra. And I can vouch for her because I am one of her students. So I have been a part of those writing competitions. I have received awards from the fair for my poems as well as have other classmates. I also want to talk about you as a Student Government Association sponsor, and that is because I am also a part of that group. So, what inspired you to make other students advocate for themselves in the school setting as well as in the county setting?
Yeah. So, as you guys move through your education and then out into the world, whether it's continuing your education in the university or college setting or going out into the workforce, it's important to not forget that you have a voice. And the district SGA allows students, they give you guys that opportunity to learn about the process. It's a complicated one, believe it or not. There's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes, and having the knowledge of that is important. I'm a very strong believer in knowledge is power, and when you get the information out there, the correct information, and you share that information with others, and then it's up to them what they do with that information. Emerald here, when I first started as the sponsor of SGA, she ran for a position on the district level, and that particular year didn't get it, but it gave her that opportunity to learn and to grow. And then last year she tried again, and she was amazing. Like, everybody was so impressed with her speech. And so she became the district recording secretary. Also networking. getting out there and learning the different, the schools and the other members of SGA that are all around the county. These kind of skills are not always the kind of things that you can learn in the classroom. So the fact that you've had that opportunity, and now when you go to, onto the university, you have that extra skill that not everybody has. So it's important to, not be afraid to take chances. And as I tell my students that I finally have learned myself how to take my own advice.
Wow, that's amazing, Miss Manfra. And I honestly cannot thank you enough for how much you pushed me during that time, because I remember telling you, oh no, I'm not running again. I don't think I'm going to make it again. But you were like, no, Emerald, you have the qualities. You did great last time. I'm sure you can do even better this year and you'll be able to get that position. So thank you so much for that unwavering support, Miss
You're
Manfra.
welcome. You're welcome.
Okay. So, Miss Manfra, I'd also like to ask you about your experience as the junior, being a part of the committee of the Junior League of Miami.
Yeah, so I joined the Junior League of Miami about 3 years ago. It was like 2021, 2022 was my first year, what they call a new member year. And basically, that year I was learning all about the different things that the Junior League does. So we're very involved in the community. It's a group just of women volunteers that started in 1926. So our 100-year anniversary is actually coming up. And I was given the opportunity after my first year to chair the advocacy committee. And with this committee, I was able to go all the way to Tallahassee and meet legislators and talk about bills that were dealing with women and children's issues, like child car seats, lunch, free and reduced lunch for students around the country. There was also a bill about human trafficking that was on the docket. I don't think that one passed, but those kind of issues that affect women and children, that's what the Junior League focuses on. And then from the work that I did with that, the women leaders of the group, saw what a motivated and hardworking member I was. So the following year, I was nominated and elected to be the VP of Community Engagement. So with that position, I was in charge of 6 different committees, all involving our community engagement projects. So we have scholarships for young women, seniors in high school that we award. We also have program development, which awards grants to nonprofit organizations around the county. We also have a signature project called In Transition, which is a home for women that are coming out of domestic violence situations, and they're able to be given free housing for up to 12 months for themselves and their children. And then we provide monthly programming to those women. We also have what are called Done in a Days, which are, like it says, we go out and give community support for a day to different nonprofit organizations around the county. And then we also have been involved with Food Rescue South Florida for the last several years, because our priority right now is food insecurity. And then this current year, I'm the VP of membership. So I am responsible for the committee that runs our general membership meetings, also social events, and our Centennial Committee that's working on preparing for the upcoming 100-year anniversary events, as well as our transfer and sustainer members.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is quite the plethora of things that you oversee as a committee member. Miss Manfra, what motivates you to do all of this?
For me, it's about the learning process. When I first joined the league, it was about getting out there and becoming part of a group that is involved in the community. And I've met so many women from other careers through this group. So, because of this involvement, I've met women attorneys, women in realtors, small business owners, people in other government agencies, and it's given me a new perspective on what other women are doing in our community as well, and it's also provided me with a belief in myself that these are other women that are doing impressive things in their own lives, and yet they've seen that I can be a leader to them. And getting that opportunity has really given me a lot of self confidence and motivation to continue to go beyond the classroom, which includes running for the current United Teachers of Dade vice president position, which has been another huge learning experience for me. And I mean, from DSGA, having to
Yes.
get up in front of people and give a speech and all that. So I'm actually going to have to do that next Wednesday. I don't want to have a regret, in a year or two and say, I wish I would have run. I think I could have done a better job if I had taken the shot. Kind of like in Hamilton, take your shot.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
Wow. It's amazing. How does it feel? Because besides junior league, besides being committee member, besides all of that,
Hmm.
last year, well, this year, you were recognized as the teacher of the year for the Central region
Hmm.
as a finalist because you really worked. You've worked very, very hard to achieve that as a teacher, and I
Hmm.
know for a fact you teach a bunch of different grades and classes. So how does that feel that
Yeah.
you've been a finalist?
So yes, it was a goal of mine for a long time, and that's something that I always strove for. But at a certain point, I realized that if it's meant to be, people are going to recognize me when it's my time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so grateful for the teachers and faculty here at YWPA that saw um, that that in me my first year here, and how um, a lot of teachers came to me and said, before you came here, we had kind of lost the spirit. It made me feel very fulfilled, and um, I'm grateful that I made it as far as I did to the Central region as a top 5 finalist,
Wow.
because I came to find out that there's like over 100 schools in the Central District. So
Amazing.
the
It's amazing.
so
Wow.
the fact that I made it to the top 5 was an honor in itself, and then I also got to be a MVP teacher for the Florida Marlins, which
Yes.
they read a little something about me. So you get to this point in your career, like I said, 21 years, and I just hope I can continue to grow and learn.
Mm-hmm.
Both my
Super important.
parents, yeah, both my parents were elementary school teachers. They're both retired now. But my dad's a big one that has told me, you need to shine your light. And I had a teacher back when I was in middle school that every Friday would say, it's better to light a candle than to curse the darkness. And I've never
Oh.
forgotten that, because it's so true. No matter how dark the situation seems, you need to stay positive
Mm-hmm.
and let other people know that this too shall pass. And so that's what I try to do in my classroom, because when you go out into the world, you need to know how to have those kind of hard conversations with people. And unfortunately, it seems in our current country, people are all about, not talking about things and just putting themselves on opposite sides. And we need to start coming together more.
Miss Manfra, you talk a lot about motivating people to come out of their shell and really persevere whatever they want, regardless of the situation. What would you tell a student, whether it is a fellow Lady Monarch or someone else that's watching this podcast right now, in one short, simple sentence, how would you motivate them to really push forward and overcome whatever they're trying to go?
Don't be afraid. Fear can deter you from doing something that you can be great at, but you can't let it run your life. So don't be afraid, and you will be surprised that you're probably not the only one in the room that feels the way you do. So all it takes is that one moment to just say something, but it takes that first step to say, fear, get out of my way. I'm not going to let you take control, and I'm going to say what I need to say. So yeah, I would say, don't let fear take over, and be strong in the moment. I have suffered from anxiety and depression, and thankfully, I've been getting help now for that for many years, and it has made a difference to, having those feelings of anxiety where my heart would, speed up, and my palms would sweat, and I would just feel frozen. And now that I have, gotten therapy and I've gotten treatment and gone through all that, it's really allowed me to go further than I thought I would. And I know a lot of people that go through it, and you're not alone. So you can be brave, and you can do it. Tell fear, get out of my way.
Get out.
Yeah.
Get out of my way. I agree with you on so many different levels, Miss Manfra. I can also attest to the fact that I've also been afraid. You've seen me you've seen me in that moment. But I feel like a lot of people tend to forget that we're just human beings.
Exactly.
And we have to take everything step by step as long as we get to the point that we want to achieve. Thank you, Miss Manfra, for sharing all of your experiences with us. I'm sure that many people here in our school did not know about everything that you've come about and done for the school and for students. So I'm really glad that we got to talk today about all of those things. Hopefully, good luck next week. You'll do amazing.
Thank
Do
you.
not be afraid.
That's
just
right.
like you said. And thank you so much. And that's it for another episode of Fem Forward. So please stay tuned for our next episode, and make sure to follow us on Instagram and listen to us on Spotify. It will all be linked down below. Thank you. Bye.
All right, bro.